just want to tell you, as I've gone to your channels for the first time, then I get to see your trailers and I get to learn about you. The most amazing stories as to why you're in homesteading, or why you've chosen to live off the grid, or why you've left the rat race.
Well, here we are on a day where we kind of let the filming get away from us. Once again, got a lot done. I mean, busy day. I don't think there's ever a day when we're not busy. Lots to do. So we're struggling to figure out what can we film today that will be interesting and different and fun. And you know, Rhenda's working on some ideas, and I had an idea. I have a project I'm working on. It's not finished yet, so I can show you the parts of it that are finished. It's not a big deal. It's real simple. It's easy. But what I want to show you is what's in place. And then for those of you who know how to do this, you're going to say, well, you're dumb. I mean, it's easier than that. But for those of you who are trying to get it all figured out, food for thought. One of the big things on having a garden is being able to get it watered, especially this time of year when the rain slows down. At least it does here. There's just nothing falling here in June so far at all, really. You know, we had a couple of days, but you know, when you come from day after day with lots and lots of rain, this month hasn't. You know, I just saw something here. I left the feed bucket out from this morning. That was not intentional, so it hasn't. I got distracted, I guess. Like I say, it's been a busy day, so it hasn't been fermenting all day. Anyway, so I'm in the process of putting in a irrigation system for the garden. It just hadn't been a way to feasibly do it before now, so we've been hand watering it for the whole month, which is kind of dumb. But what I've done in order to make it so that it's simpler to do is I've got a controller. Now, we actually bought this last year and we've had it, and it's a 6-station controller and all kinds of settings and so on. I mean, that part of it's really cool. What I've got to do now is I had taken the battery out so the battery didn't go bad, and I don't think that's it. I'm going to see what happens here when I unplug, but I don't think that's the right size of battery. Oh, cool beans. May not be the right size of battery, but it works. Okay, good. Didn't lose my settings. So what I want to show now is the box where all of the stuff happens here. Take the top of it off. I only had this set up for 3 zones, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to end up doing this year with the way that I'm doing it. We'll see. At this point, I've only got one that's hooked up. So, you know, I come into it with a hose, as you can see here. I got an adapter here that adapts it for a normal garden hose fitting, so it can connect, you know, bring the water in. And then going out here are these fittings so that I can put these adapters that go onto the hose that goes out in the garden. Now, it's going to be hard to show, but if you look over there, you see along the bottom of the fence, I have it running there. I still need to fasten it up to the fence. What I've done is I've placed it all around the perimeter of the fence, so it makes it's a loop, essentially a forward-cornered loop, if you will. But it goes all the way around. Now, I can't remember who I learned this from. Thank you, whoever it was. But the idea of having equal pressure by having a total loop with the water pipe, and then what I'll do is at both ends of the rows, I'll put essentially a header that the line that runs from one of the pipes, the water lines at the far end and near end of the garden, there'll be a drip line that runs end to end and connects into both places, so it's getting water input from both ends, and so there's a balance to the pressure, and not so likely to have the end, because there won't be an end, that will find itself low on pressure. So
well, this is a boring one.
Yeah,
you need me in it.
Yeah, I do need you. Thank you for coming and saving me. I was going crazy. Anyway, that's going to help, and I'll be able to show you as I connect the first line in. We're going to be doing the tomatoes, and hopefully tomorrow's the day that's going to happen. Now, one of the challenges that I have is I have to run the hose out here, which is not cool. And what I want to do is tap into the water lines. Now, out of our well house, there's a line that comes out, I think, towards the barn, and it hadn't been hooked up, so I hooked it up, and it was actually, I thought it was in one place, wasn't hooked up, and so I put the glue on there, hooked it up, waited a couple days, turned it on, and got a shower when it blew apart, because there was another place that wasn't fastened together that had felt like it was fastened together.
You really got
So now they're both fastened together.
I mean, it was really...
I turned it on, I let it start filling up the hose and the line never got full. I went to the other end where it would be coming out. No water, no air, nothing's coming out. So my guess is somewhere between the well house and the barn, there's a break, and it just was filling up under there. So either way, I have to trench from where my line goes in down here to the controller out to where I believe the line is coming across going over there. So when I find the line, I have no idea how deep I have to trench down, but we don't freeze, so I don't think they've gone very far. But I'll figure that out, cut the line in, see if I can tap into it and bring it in here, and then I'll have a convenient way to get the water in. What I'll probably find out is that it's broke between where I'm cutting in and out there. That's going to be my luck, between the well house and where I'm trying to use it. That's the way it goes. So now we're going to get more exciting, and Rhenda's going to take over and do some really fun things.
Am I?
Like I said, we're struggling to figure out what we're doing today.
Hi. I'm just gonna sit here on the ground. So, all day long, and all day yesterday, and all day the day before, and probably the day before that, I've been working.
She is what's called a YouTube junkie.
No, it's my business.
That's true. She's serious. She's a serious YouTube junkie.
I'm working. I'm working really, really, really hard to get our subscribers up to 100 so that we can do our URL.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the right word.
Very good. I'm proud of you. You're learning this lingo stuff.
So I've been listening to you, and I've been meeting you, and I've been having so many people that have come to ours and subs.
Now, one thing she did tell me today that Darcy Isabella is going to force her to up her game. She's not going to mimic Darcy. I don't think it's possible. She's not going to mimic her, but she realizes she's got to put something into it that's pretty awesome stuff. And we're going to figure that one out.
Darcy,
maybe we have already.
You make me laugh. That's all I can say. We both laugh. We both just...
Hey, and we love your kids. My goodness.
Oh,
great kids.
wonderful
great
kids.
family. Great job.
Anyway.
And we would know.
We would know. So anyway, I just want to tell you, as I've gone to your channels for the first time, then I get to see your trailers, and I get to learn about you. The most amazing stories as to why you're in homesteading, or why you've chosen to live off the grid, or why you've left the rat race. It's so wonderful. We left the rat race, and it's so wonderful to leave it. But what's so wonderful is to know that we're all out there, and that we can go into YouTube.
We're not alone in this. I mean, it's fantastic.
Ah, bug.
Getting bugs?
Anyway, there's a story I love, and it's I put it in a book that I wrote. It is not my story whatsoever. But let me just tell it really quick.
Aren't you going to show it?
I don't have it with me.
Well, I mean, we're going to do it the way you talked about doing it. Which one are you talking about?
The starfish.
Oh, a different story.
Different story. Okay.
So let me give you a heads up, a promise. She has a really cool story. It's an old story, but she's going to retell it in modern terms with real props, actually demonstrating it. And it's going to be...
Hopefully Saturday.
You're going to try to put it together Saturday?
Yeah.
It'll be fun. So you'll see it Sunday.
See it Sunday. Okay, so that's fun. So I really did write a book about and for seniors. It's actually a lovely book. It's called Voices from My Heart. But and it's available on Amazon, by the way. But in the front of the book, I told the story about the man who's walking on the shore and throwing starfish back into the sea. And a younger man comes to him and says, "What are you doing?" And he says, "I'm throwing starfish in the sea." "Well, why are you doing that?" "Because if I don't do that, they'll die." And he looked down the shore and there were thousands and thousands. I really think I have a bug in my nose. There were thousands and thousands of starfish. And he said, "You will never be able to make a difference. Look at all of this." And the old man picked up the starfish, tossed it in the ocean and said, "I made a difference with that one." We first started that, kind of adopted that story when we adopted our children. And we adopted 3 of our children. We had 4 children, and then we adopted a sibling group of 3. And we tried to make a difference in their life. Well, I was reminded of that story today as I was listening to all of the beautiful stories. And I listened to Justin Rhodes, of course, video today that was showing Deborah Neiman in the middle of all of the monocrops. And here was her farm that was a homesteading farm, living completely different than just one crop. And I realized at that point that we, all of us in the homesteading community, are like little starfish all across the nation. We're making a difference in our little area, with our little family, in our land. And I want us to remember that, how great it is to be able to... I'm eating bugs.
It tastes good?
Blech!
Little protein.
To be able to be part of you. We have 75 subscribers now. We have 25 to go, and then we're just going to explode.
25 to go to get to 100.
25 to go to get to 100. And we just are so grateful. So if you'll help us, if you see this, subscribe and share if you are already subscribed, so that maybe somebody else will want to do it. The sun is down, the moon is up. I think it's time to go in, but I still have the back lawn to mow.
She does. I don't think you're going to make it before it starts. Pre-announcement also here. It'll probably be more like Monday before we get it figured out totally. We're going to be having a contest. It's going to be a cool contest. And there is
a prize.
There is a prize, a real prize, a tangible prize.
It's my book.
Yep.
And we'll tell you more about it. Thank you.
Bye.